Afternoon VC, Harris here with another video. Been a while. Record store day. I'm running a bit behind on this one, but yeah, went with a particular grail in mind, and yeah, good times. As in the poster in my thumbnail, I've got a little bar about a 3-minute walk up the road from me called the Overdrive. Brilliant bar. DJs play there all the time. It's fantastic. It's only a tiny little place, but they do record store day as well and sell vinyl, and it's brilliant. So got there at 3 a.m. Yeah, 3 a.m. Wednesday. Yeah, I wasn't mucking about this time. These were the levels I was working on. I got there 3 a.m. Wednesday. You don't really want to be sleeping for 3 days on Shirley High Street, as I'm sure if Ed's watching he would attest to. So I bought the essentials: sleeping bag, machete. Not strictly a machete, a whisk, but Wilco's wouldn't sell me a machete. They did some background checks on me and deemed that this was a good compromise. So I was armed with my whisk, and you may laugh, but on a Thursday morning someone came at me with a souffle, so I was able to sort of, you know, suppress her, and so I had the last laugh there. But anyway, the doors opened Saturday. I was 57th in the queue. Unfortunately, I'd fallen asleep Thursday morning and got bum rushed by a load of Taylor Swift fans. Lovely girls, by the way, but yeah, slightly annoying. But I still got my grail. Frankie Goes to Hollywood, the altered tapes. Absolutely chuffed to get this. Seriously was. I was a bit of a Frank. When I grew up, I just about missed punk really. And Frankie Goes to Hollywood, they were kind of like my Johnny Rotten. You know, because they were banned from Radio 1, fantastically. They were on the front of every newspaper for about a year, who mainly hated them, The Sun, The Mirror. They couldn't stand them for various reasons. I've got a fair idea why the newspapers and Radio 1 didn't like Frankie, but that's probably a conversation for another day. This has got the 16-minute version of Relax and the 16-minute version of Two Tribes on, which were only ever committed to tape. They used to remix the hell out of these things and didn't even used to tell you and just stick out more and more 12 inches. They were quite crafty. But I absolutely chuffed to get this. In America, these are 10 a penny at the moment by looks of Discogs, but in England, I think there's only one copy for sale, 55 quid, mental. But yeah, I was so chuffed to get this. It sounds great as well. I've been listening to it loads, and that's it. That was my record store day. I sauntered off into the sunlight, into the sunset, and see you in 2023. But I also been getting some other stuff. Santana, Abraxas, David Last Freeman, the legend of the VC. He's been talking about Santana. I think I've got a stigma about Santana because my first sort of notion of Santana was that god-awful 1999 album they brought out, which sold 158 billion copies. And it kind of, but actually I'm revisiting their early stuff thanks to David, and this is great. Second album, sort of psychedelic pop masterpiece. The third and fourth albums meant to be good as well, so I'm picking these, and they're cheap. This was 4 quid, 5 quid, and they seem to be that price everywhere around here. So yeah, chuffed to get this. It's an 80s reissue, but it sounds great. Fantastic stuff. Next up, I think this was Em who suggested this. This is great. Pretenders, the extended play EP. This is one of their early issues, early releases. I love the Pretenders, although a full album of them gets a little bit too much. This has got 5 tracks: Message of Love, Talk of the Town, Porcelain, Cuban Slide. Brilliant stuff. Really cheap as well. I've seen this in a couple of charity shops recently. And yeah, Pretenders extended play EP. Lovely. This is the Motherlode. I got this at a record fair. So chuffed. Toots and My Tales, the best of. I love Toots and My Tales. This is quite hard to find this, and to be honest, if I was doing one of those the bedrock to any music collection videos, this would be one of the first choices. Toots and My Tales, probably the greatest reggae band ever. I think that's fair to say. Certainly have one of the biggest impacts in the UK. Side 2 starts with Pressure Drop, which The Clash covered. Monkey Man, the Specials covered. Pomp and Pride, Time Tough in the Dark, 5436. I mean, that was the Rebel MC covered that in the 89. Anyone in the UK will know that, the Rebel MC. But Toots and My Tales, the best of, absolutely brilliant. Kind of hard to find. This is 79 collection, which probably came out on the back of, it's on Trojan. I no doubt this was released because of the Specials of Madness, because I don't think they'd ever had a Greatest Hits before. So when the Specials of Madness came out, who were covering their tunes left, right and centre, they probably released this then. But this is apps, if you can find it. But if you can't, I'm sure there's billions of CD Greatest Hits of Toots and My Tales, probably for about £1. Well worth getting, because they are fantastic. Next up, I've gone 12-inch crazy. I'm a sucker for a 90s indie 12-inch where the band has gone for the jugular, gone for the top 40. Throwing Muses, Not Too Soon. Just brilliant. One of the great sort of MTV buzz-bin 120-minute singles. I think this was their finest hour, as in the sort of pop-wise. Only got a number 70 in the UK, but just a great track on 12-inch. Came off the Real Ramona album, but I think this was the highlight of that album for me. Love it. So Throw Muses, Not Too Soon. Next up, really chuffed to get this. Another 12-inch. Mr. Wazzo, Flat Beat. Mr. Wazzo there. Don't know what's happened to Mr. Wazzo. He had one hit, disappeared. Didn't hear from him. I heard that he might have fallen in with the wrong crowd. Not sure. Haven't heard a lot from him since. If anyone does know what's happened to Mr. Wazzo, or Flat Eric, as this lad was known, please let me know. But yeah, it's a bass bin destroyer. This came out in '99. One of the last great dance electronic singles of the '90s, and yeah, it used to cause just dancehall mayhem when I went out. And it's I'd say it's an absolute bass bin wrecker. But that's a Flat Beat by Mr. Wazzo. Another 12, Kavinsky, Nightcore, from the film Drive. This is one of the great 12-inch singles that have come out recently. It sounds like an 80s classic, keyboard classic. And it actually came out about 10 years ago, Nightcore by Kavinsky. Well worth listening to. It's really addictive. I'm really chuffed to get the 12-inch as well. Fantastic stuff. Next up, really pleased to get this. Squarepusher's debut EP. Squarepusher came same school as Aphex Twin, Warp Records, sort of manic drum and bass with some jazzy touches. This is hard to find. I got this for £8. It's the Port Rumbus EP. Came out in '96. An absolute killer EP. Pretty mental, but yeah, brilliant. Really pleased to get it. More 12s. See, these are just 10 a penny now. I can pick these up almost for free. Nobody's Diary by Yazoo. I mean, I love Nobody's Diary by Yazoo. It's fantastic. One of the great 80s 12 inches. And super, just played it. Sounds superb. What else? Human League, Human. I was, as I've said before, Human League were my Beatles. This was kind of the end of the road. This was when they went R&B. They went swing beat. And I loved the single Human. But you knew the iceberg was approaching because the stubble's starting to appear. And the hair's getting gelled. That's always a red flag for any 80s synth pop band. And the album this came off was an absolute car crash. But Human by the Human League, fantastic stuff. Hideaway by DeLacy. If you're in the UK in the 90s, you knew this one. The Dubfire Needs to Score remix, the Deep Dish remix, fantastic stuff. And there was a DJ at the record fair who clearly was just giving his stuff away. He really didn't care. This is like 20, 50p each. Pointer Sisters Automatic. Oh, I'll take that all day long. George Benson, Give Me the Night. I'm at the point in my life where I get more pleasure from George Benson's Give Me the Night 12-inch single than I will from an album nowadays. I don't know why, but I just play these singles all day long and they all sound fantastic because obviously it's just one track on a 12-inch bit of vinyl. Fantastic. And Erasure, A Little Respect. Love it. 50p a pop. You just can't go wrong. I'm buying these all day long. So that's it. That's me record store buy, some other bits and bobs, various gubbins that I bought. Thanks for watching. I'm sure I'll be back soon. Take care, everyone. Bye now.